And the fact that an upstanding and righteous gentleman like yourself is in that position with the only thing trying to be righteous in our lane is just more machinations of the devil. You should have a much better backstory when you pick me as an opponent.
You know what, man? I'm glad you at least, addressed it, because
when you talk to him and tell him what the truth is, he won't be able to refute it. I told you earlier, he doesn't know this.
A new target in his sights, NFL legend Shannon Sharpe. A brand new lawsuit was just filed in Nevada claiming Sharpe was manipulative and eventually a Jane Doe, with the latest claims allegedly happening as recently as January. We got our hands on the filing, and we're going to break down everything.
Feel better about herself when they come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get your old up there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her. Listen, you want some money to go to Starbucks?
Katt Williams just dropped a bombshell, confirming the wild allegations against Shannon Sharpe. And the internet is losing its mind right now. Shannon's been out here fighting for his reputation these past few days, but Katt's latest comments just lit the match that's about to set everything on fire. So here's the rundown. A woman sued Shannon a few days back, claiming he allegedly put hands on her while they were dating. And trust, this might just be the beginning of Shannon's downfall. He's scrambling to fight the lawsuit, but honestly, it's looking rough for him. To make it even worse, Katt Williams is out here giving major "I told you so" vibes, loud and clear. Not only is Katt backing up the claims against Shannon, but he's also hinting that he's sitting on even more explosive tea. And you already know what's about to get real messy. Now, let's get straight to it. Katt Williams is living for Shannon Sharpe's legal drama, and he's not even pretending to be subtle about it. Word on the street is that there's been some low-key beef brewing between Katt and Shannon for a minute now, ever since that messy, unforgettable interview on Club Shay Shay. Katt Williams isn't even trying to play it cool anymore. He's straight up enjoying the mess Shannon Sharpe is stuck in. And honestly, it's wild when you think about it, because their interview together smashed records, becoming the most watched video podcast on YouTube. You'd think with numbers like that, they'd be tight, right? Nope. Turns out there's serious bad blood between them, and it explains why Katt's sitting back, laughing at Shannon's downfall like it's a whole movie. Word on the street is Katt's been out here telling folks that Shannon always gave off a strange vibe, even while they were chopping it up on Club Shay Shay. Katt's been hinting that he felt something was off about Shannon from the jump, and now it sounds like he's convinced these messy allegations might actually have some truth behind them. That's crazy, because these accusations aren't just some random gossip, they're heavy. So what's the real tea behind these allegations, and what has Katt Williams believing it's real? Let's break it down. A woman named Gabriella Zuniga filed the lawsuit claiming she started talking to Shannon back in 2023, when she was just 19 years old. Meanwhile, Shannon was 54 at the time. Well, yeah, this already sounds shady. Like, seriously, what was Unc thinking messing with someone that young? To put it in perspective, Shannon's youngest kid was around 29 or 30 years old when all this went down, meaning Gabriella was more than a whole decade younger than his own child. Even though Gabriella was legally an adult, let's be real, it still feels real sketchy and gives off heavy grooming vibes. This whole situation is straight up shocking. First off, Gabriella originally filed the lawsuit as Jane Doe because she was trying to keep her identity under wraps. But guess what? Shannon and his legal team went ahead and dropped her real name in their public statements. Like, come on, there's definitely something shady about that move too.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself, because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
Now, diving into the lawsuit, Gabriella's accusing Shannon of some seriously dark stuff. She says he manipulated and controlled her and even alleges that he assaulted her from behind not once, but during 2 separate periods, October 2024 and January 2025, completely ignoring her, begging him to stop. In the lawsuit, she details brutal moments of alleged threats and physical abuse, saying Shannon flat out refused to take no for an answer, even while she was crying and screaming for him to quit. Gabriella claims they first crossed paths at an LA gym and ended up in what she called a consensual relationship for about 2 years. But according to her, Shannon's whole vibe flipped, and he allegedly started threatening to end her life when she tried to share her location with friends for safety. It gets even messier. She's also accusing him of secretly recording their private moments without her knowing, claiming it was just for personal use, but then she says he allegedly showed those videos to his friends on multiple occasions. Shannon wasn't about to just sit there and let these claims tear him apart, though. He came swinging back hard. His lawyer dropped a heavy statement defending him and denying everything in full force. Shannon wasn't playing when he clapped back. He pulled out text receipts from Gabriella. And let me tell you right now, they're wild, straight up graphic to the point where you gotta take a deep breath before even reading them. In the messages, Gabriella said things like, "I want you to put a dog collar on my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me." She also sent, "I know you missed this big juicy, $25,000 for each cheek. Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then you can do whatever you want to me." And it gets even crazier. She told him, "I want to put my tongue in your a-hole and then marry you. That's my daddy." Plus, she wrote, "I want you to put a big black baby in me. You better crave it, because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me." Yeah, it's exhausting just reading all that. Now, I warned you it was graphic, but seriously, what's up with that whole big black baby thing she kept saying? It's giving weird vibes, especially since Gabriella is white. It definitely sounds like there was some heavy race play going on between them. And honestly, that's a messy lane we ain't even gonna unpack fully right now. Anyway, back to the drama. In Shannon's official statement, he came out swinging, calling the lawsuit by Gabriella Zuniga and the whole setup by her lawyer, Tony Busby, a straight-up sham. According to Shannon, it's nothing but a shady, cold-blooded attempt to shake him down for millions in a dirty money grab. He said Gabriella showed him a secretly recorded video of one of their private moments, trying to use it against him. Shannon's team claims the tape was heavily edited, chopped up to make a consensual act look like something it wasn't, trying to flip the whole script. His statement made it clear, the evidence tells a whole different story. This was a consensual relationship between 2 adults, packed with role-playing, wild talk, and fantasy scenarios that Gabriella herself allegedly asked for. Shannon's camp said the video Gabriella secretly filmed and then flashed at him during what they're calling a blackmail move was edited to twist the narrative. They claim when you line it up with the raw, uncut text messages, it shows everything was agreed on between 2 grown folks. Shannon flat out denied every single accusation of coercion or misconduct, especially the heavy claim of SA, calling it a gross lie. He said he's not folding to what he sees as a bold blackmail attempt and made it crystal clear he's ready to take the fight all the way through court. Shannon said he's standing on the truth and waiting for real justice to come through with facts and law on his side. Oh, and that's not even all. Shannon also dropped a video where he doubled down, saying he was being blackmailed directly by Tony Busby. Yeah, the same lawyer who was behind that wild SA lawsuit against Jay-Z. Shannon claimed Busby was ready to leak an audio clip, but that it was edited to make him look guilty and take everything way out of context. And it doesn't stop there.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like...
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you.
I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be true.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Shannon also claimed that Gabriella and her lawyer Tony Busby were coming for a massive $50 million bag in their lawsuit. Yeah, they were swinging for the fences with that number. But right when it looked like Shannon had the upper hand, Tony Busby clapped back, and he didn't hold anything back either. Busby fired off, claiming Shannon actually offered Gabriella a huge $10 million payout during mediation to keep her from filing the lawsuit in the first place. According to Busby, back in early February, our office reached out to Mr. Sharpe on behalf of Jane Doe to talk about a potential meeting. After multiple conversations, we agreed to mediation. Busby said Shannon showed up with a whole different legal team, and they spent over 6 weeks working through the process. And by the end of it, Shannon allegedly put a very generous offer on the table to settle everything quietly. But Gabriella said no to that hefty offer and went ahead with the lawsuit anyway. Now, Busby also came for Shannon's receipts. He pointed out that all those graphic texts Shannon and his lawyers dropped were old, sent way before the alleged assault incidents even happened. He wrote, "Every text Mr. Sharpe's counsel released today is dated before the alleged brutal acts detailed in Jane Doe's case." Basically, Busby's calling Shannon out for trying to distract the public from the real disturbing claims with old messages. And Busby wasn't finished yet. He dropped even more heat by releasing an audio clip where Shannon could allegedly be heard threatening to choke Gabriella. In another recording, Shannon reportedly made a super disturbing comment about a big black guy choking a small white woman. Man, this is looking worse and worse by the minute. After dropping that audio clip, Tony Busby didn't hold back. He said the contents of the recording weren't playful at all. In fact, he called them disturbing and dangerous. Busby said the audio shows exactly how Shannon allegedly treated Jane Doe and that it was so bad she had to flee Nevada just to get away from him and block all contact. Busby wasn't done either. He doubled down on his $10 million claim, saying, "On one hand, Mr. Sharpe and his team want to say the lawsuit has no merit. Yet on the other hand, they openly admitted Shannon offered Jane Doe $10 million in writing to keep her from filing the lawsuit. That's a fact." He said Gabriella was indeed offered the money, but chose to reject it and push forward with litigation instead. Busby also accused Shannon's side of trying to discredit and dox Gabriella to mess with her reputation, and even said they're now coming after him personally, but he made it clear they're not backing down from this fight. Now, Shannon's lawyer wasn't about to just sit there and take all that. He clapped back, flipping the script and accusing Gabriella of being all about the money. According to Shannon's legal team, Gabriella only started pushing harder once she caught wind that Shannon is about to ink a monster media deal, a deal rumored to be worth over $100 million for his Club Shay Shay podcast. And get this, Gabriella filed her lawsuit just 1 day before the news about Shannon's massive deal was supposed to go public. Shannon's lawyer said it loud. In their eyes, Gabriella's just seeing dollar signs and trying to cash out before Shannon's big payday. After Shannon's contract with Colin Cowherd's Volume Podcast Network ran out, things got even messier. Shannon's lawyer came out swinging, saying Gabriella knew all about Shannon's upcoming massive payday and tried to use that to her advantage. He said, "This right here is the classic definition of blackmail. Gabriella saw the perfect chance to get maximum leverage." But that wasn't all. Shannon's legal team also exposed Gabriella for having an OnlyFans account. His lawyer said straight up that Gabriella was getting paid for role-playing and virtual fantasy work with men online, and that she even started charging Shannon himself. He said, "It's a fact. The plaintiff began charging Mr. Sharpe money. That's who she is by the facts. She's on OnlyFans doing role-play for cash." Well, Tony Busby wasn't about to let that slide either. He clapped right back. Busby said Shannon's whole aggressive approach is only going to backfire. He fired off, "Ms. Doe isn't scared of the truth. She's standing on it. We look forward to laying out all the evidence through the court system where truth matters more than a desperate public spin from a sports icon." Yo, this whole thing is a total disaster now, like a very messy, very bad situation. Fans are completely divided on this one. Some people are side-eyeing Gabriella and her OnlyFans background, but others are real suspicious of Tony Busby too. And honestly, it's not like Busby's reputation is squeaky clean either. He's the same lawyer who filed a lawsuit against Jay-Z last year, accusing him of allegedly assaulting a 13-year-old at an after-party after the 2000 VMAs. The mess doesn't stop. That lawsuit Tony Busby filed against Jay-Z, yeah, it ended up getting dropped and dismissed. To make it even worse, another Jane Doe came forward claiming that Busby had lied to her too. Jay-Z wasn't having it. He turned around and hit Busby with a countersuit for defamation and extortion, and that whole situation was another ugly, messy disaster. So now, with Busby dragging Shannon Sharpe into a brand new lawsuit, a lot of people are giving him serious side-eye. Fans are out here wondering if trying to run extortion plays is just a regular side hustle for Busby at this point. Lord, it's looking shady out here. But on the flip side, some folks believe there might still be something real in Gabriella's claims because, let's be honest, Shannon's got a well-known rep for being freaky behind closed doors. Now don't get it twisted. Being wild in the bedroom is one thing, and SA is a whole different level. But some fans are side-eyeing the situation, wondering if some lines might have gotten crossed somewhere along the way. While the fans are still split and arguing about who's guilty and who's faking, you know who's allegedly having the time of his life watching Shannon's downfall? Katt Williams. Yep, it's wild, but not really that surprising. There's been chatter for a while that Katt and Shannon have been beefing low-key ever since that infamous Club Shay Shay interview dropped. The second that podcast episode blew up, the drama went nuclear. Katt landed himself in hot water with a bunch of black entertainers, especially comedians. And honestly, when you watch the interview back, you can see it. Some parts had Katt looking real salty, like he was sitting on old grudges just waiting to spill everything. And when Katt hit Club Shay Shay, he went full confessional, no filter, no breaks, just unloading on every celeb he had a bone to pick with.
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah, I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you did with the shit you did to me.
Okay,
Katt wasn't tiptoeing around a thing. He dove straight into the chaos, head first, no filter, no chaser. And while the internet was howling with laughter, the entertainers who caught the heat were definitely not laughing behind the scenes. Let's keep it real. Nobody wants their skeletons yanked out and paraded in front of the whole world like that. But Katt unloaded the whole clip like he had been sitting on years of built-up tea, just waiting for the perfect moment to set it off. And Shannon Sharpe handed him the perfect setup on a silver platter. The fallout from that interview was straight up ugly though, and both Katt and Shannon caught major backlash, especially Katt, who found himself right in the center of the storm. Dave Chappelle was one of the first big names to step in and call them out. He didn't hold back either. Dave said, "What part of the game is this?" He blasted Katt for coming at his own people, saying, "He ain't say a thing about any of those white boys. None of those white boys move like that." Dave even threw Katt a backhanded compliment, calling him one of the best painters in the game, but then hit him with, "So why you out here painting ugly pictures of us?" Dave kept going, saying, hurt people, but I'm a hurt person that never hurt people," and he does it all the time. He even accused Katt and Shannon of trying to tear down the lives of other black men just for some clout. Dave Chappelle didn't stop there. He got real personal with it. He said, "If I told my story, it would break your heart. I lost everything and never once told on anybody, and now here's Katt acting like he's the truth police." Dave didn't hold back at all, basically calling Katt out for playing himself. He said, "Katt, listen, I rock with you, but bruh, tell me, what part of the game is messing up another brother's bag? What part of the game is about telling on your own people?" At first, all the smoke was aimed straight at Katt Williams. Folks were dragging him across the internet, calling him bitter, a liar, and saying he was the real issue. They even slapped the hater label on him heavy, saying he was just mad at the success of others and letting all that jealousy spill out during the interview. But then something flipped the script. Monique pulled up to Club Shay Shay for her own sit-down. And suddenly, the internet started looking at Shannon Sharpe sideways too. People started connecting the dots and realizing that Shannon was the common thread in both of these messy, drama-filled interviews. And in classic Club Shay Shay style, Shannon Sharpe wasn't about to take any real heat. He did what he does best, deflected. Shannon basically threw Katt under the bus, trying to act like he was just a bystander caught in the storm. According to Shannon, he was just vibing, letting Katt take the wheel and playing off whatever wild stuff Katt was already putting out there. Apparently, Shannon had already been feeling some type of way about all the backlash. In his mind, he was just doing his jobs, asking questions, letting his guests speak their truth. He didn't twist Katt's arm to spill any tea, and he sure didn't force him to air out people's dirty laundry. So, from Shannon's point of view, he shouldn't have been catching all that heat. And honestly, I kind of see where he's coming from on that one. But according to someone close to the situation, Shannon's been venting heavy behind the scenes. Word is he's seriously frustrated that Katt's explosive interview threw his whole show off track. What used to be seen as a serious, credible space for real talks turned into a full-blown circus show overnight. Shannon's been stressing that the chaos from that interview might scare away big-name guests in the future, and he's pointing fingers directly at Katt for messing up the bag. He feels like Katt's outburst cost him major opportunities and tarnished the vibe he had been building for Club Shay Shay. And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, Shannon went a step further. He started hinting that maybe Katt wasn't even telling the full truth in that interview. Yeah, Shannon was moving real careful though, quick to distance himself from all the drama while Katt had supposedly assured Shannon that everything he planned to say in that interview was 100% true. Shannon stood firm, saying he never pushed Katt to spill anything. Everything that came out that day, according to Shannon, it was all Katt's own idea. But Katt definitely wasn't feeling the way Shannon threw him under the bus after the fact. That move caused some serious tension between the two, and you could tell the vibe was off after all that went down. Now, to be fair, Shannon's podcast did survive the storm. Club Shay Shay stayed strong and kept pulling in viewers. For a while, none of the interviews after Katt's blew up in the same messy, viral way. But hey, maybe that was a good thing, or so it seemed. Because if there's one thing everybody knows about Mr. Katt Williams, it's that he's got a memory like an elephant. Katt doesn't forget anything, especially when he feels played. So now, with Shannon Sharpe neck deep in these new ugly accusations, Katt is sitting back watching it all unfold. And trust he's not shedding a single tear for Shannon. Katt is petty to the core, no doubt about that. But if you listen close, you can almost hear Katt telling Shannon, you gotta tell him no, you gotta tell him no. But now it's your turn. I wanna know what y'all think about this crazy mess. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get 3,000 comments under this video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your people, and tap that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next wild update. See you on the next one.